meals, I'm gunning for the money, money in the bank. Coming with a dank, scrolling in a tank, rolling with the gang. You sit and I on the sideline tripping, I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin. Yeah. I'm okay.
At Planet Fitness, you can get energy without the judgment.
Hi, can you help me with this?
You don't know how to use it?
This is better.
Join now through January 19th for just 24 cents down, $10 a month. Never intimidating, always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. Join today during the Big Fitness Energy Sale for 24 cents down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal extended through January 19th.
Over 50 Metro Detroit locations.
Come hang with the Woodward Sports Crew all throughout football season on Saturdays and Sundays. Join our college football and Detroit Lions live watch parties.
Inside the 5, caught, end zone, touchdown Detroit Lions!
featuring different special guests and surprises. Start times will vary depending on the game. Only on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
You can get energy without the judgment.
Hi,
Hello?
Can you help me with this?
You don't know how to use it?
Hello? Hello?
This is better.
Join now.
Is it me
January
you're
19th.
looking
Just 24
for?
cents down, $10 a month. Never intimidating.
Audio
Always
sold
free
separately.
fitness training and equipment
They
for
said they
every
hear us now.
workout. Join today during the big
We
fitness
back.
energy sale.
All right, there's an echo though.
$10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal
We
extended through
back.
January 19th.
We back.
Over 50
I'm getting
Metro
echo. I think
Detroit
just
locations.
hearing yourself.
Yeah. It's echo. It's like delayed.
Yeah, I am.
All right, you want to mute all of them? Before?
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
How would you like to win not one, but two vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Planet Fitness, you can get energy without the judgment.
Hi, can you help me with this?
You don't know how to use it?
This is better.
Join now through January 19th for just 24 cents down, $10 a month. Never intimidating, always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. Join today during the big fitness energy sale for 24 cents down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal extended through January 19th.
Over 50 Metro Detroit locations.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrady, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
What up, though? Welcome back
back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on Woodwardsports.com. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my guy Spin Mo Rax.
What up, Doug?
Young Chris. We got KG, Kenny
What
G
up,
on the ones and
Doug?
twos in the sound booth. Smash that like button, be a friend, tell a friend. The Detroit Lions are going to the NFC Conference Championship. Before we get into all the hype, we got a little bit of a solemnness to get out the way. Spinny would like to apologize to Derek Barnes that there's game-sealing interception.
Yeah, if you watch the game, if you watch the live stream, the watch party, I was going at Derek Barnes for a lot of the game. You know, he missed a couple tackles, he missed some assignments. So I was saying, put Jack Campbell in the game. What are you doing? Like, get him out of there. Shout out to Derek Barnes. You totally redeemed yourself, brother. Went out there, got the interception. He spoke later after the game saying that, Aaron Glenn, Kelvin Shepard, they were telling the linebackers all week, watch the seams, attack the seams, because that's where they like to go. That's where they like to live. That's where Baker Mayfield likes to attack a defense, is the seam. And so Derek Barnes went out there, made an athletic play, got the great game-sealing interception. So shout out to him for taking care of things. This is a team effort. This is a team effort. A lot of guys had a lot of big-time plays in this game. We're going to go over a lot of different players, what they did, how they impacted the game when we talk about our MVPs of this performance. But, yeah, shout out to Derek Barnes, man. Shout out to Derek Barnes for getting it done.
Big shout out.
Shout out to him for multiple reasons, too. Like, not just because of interception, too, but, like, this guy he didn't give birth, but his family welcomed a brand new baby boy, like I think 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And like I always hype up that become that father, and because it comes with blessings, man. It's like a rebirth, and Derek Barnes has been just that. That's his first career interception, not just a game-sealing interception. It's nice to have the defense close one out, as well as the offense close one out the previous week, just so they know what they're capable of. They know they can cash in when it comes to cashing in on both sides of the football.
Yeah.
They can rely on each other. It's a beautiful thing. Again, Detroit Lions going to NFC Championship. In the AFC, they got the Chiefs, they got the Ravens.
1 win away from the Super Bowl.
1 win away from the
2
Super Bowl.
wins
2 wins
away from being
a Super Bowl,
immortalized
yeah.
into the NFL.
Yes, sir.
Like, it's an amazing feeling. I didn't think that we'd be here this soon, but guess what? Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, this Detroit Lions team, they had other plans. And
Yes,
now
sir.
they're knocking on the door for a Super Bowl. They are in the NFC Championship game for the first time in my life. It's amazing. Back-to-back playoff wins. How about them Lions?
I heard it somewhere. I think it was Dan Orlowski. But the Detroit Lions officially have been in more NFC Conference Championships than the Cowboys in this century, technically speaking.
Wow.
It's kind of, I'm loving that. So, throwing some shots towards Cowboys fans. I do want to get some breaking news, though. Jonah Jackson, more than likely, he's going to miss, actually,
Yes.
that NFC Conference Championship game with a meniscus. He's getting surgery today. If you guys aren't familiar with that, that's the same injury that Frank Ragnow had. He had his surgery, I think was it during the bye week or in the middle of like one week, and he missed the game, and then he was back, good to go, because he's a savage like that. So it's quite possible, if you guys believe this fairy tale continues, that Jonah Jackson will be back for the Super Bowl. I'm just saying.
Very well could.
I'm just saying. But some breaking news there for that one. Speaking of breaking news, I want to get to this one too, because I know no one wanted to clip it because nobody else really talked about it today. Zach Ertz. Signed by the Detroit Lions today.
Yes.
In wake of Brock Wright dealing with his injury. He is also another guy that's going to miss that NFC Conference Championship game.
Right? Or,
is that what it was? I didn't see what it was officially.
I believe he suffered an injury that's going to keep him out of the next couple games. So they did make the move, signing Zach Ertz, bringing him in, obviously with James Mitchell on the IR, Brock Wright suffering that injury. Now it's Laporta. You've got Zach Ertz you brought in, signed him to the practice squad. I assume they bring him up here to the regular lineup pretty soon, but it's a good move. It's a guy who's played in the Super Bowl before. It's a guy who's played a lot of football in this league. He's done a lot of great things in this league. He might not be, the spring chicken that he was, but as a backup tight end, he's a solid option. Good guy to bring in to throw out there.
Yeah, I'm not I know who Zach Ertz as like a receiver. Like I know him like through that realm. Can he block too? Because I feel like that was like Brock Wright's role. Was like mainly as a blocking. Obviously, he cashed in that big game yesterday. How was that? 30 yards?
Yeah, it was like 29 actually, but yeah, you might as well say 30.
Yeah. Like that, he had That I think, if I'm not mistaken, might be the same play that he had against the Jets. We cashed in the game winner, put on the burners. That man yesterday, though, this is a shout out too. It's not like a slight. The slowest, nastiest juke of all time. I mean, that was crazy.
That was nuts.
It was like he just paced himself with it, but the Bucs defender was still like sliding on skates.
As T-Fall says, the white boy wiggle.
The white boy wiggle, yeah.
He had it, man. He had it. So shout out to Brock Wright for everything he's given to this team on this magical run. Kenny G, what are your thoughts on the game, man? I haven't heard you speak on this all day.
Man, it's amazing. they in the NFC Championship. It's finally starting to set in that this shit is real, man. I can't believe it, man. Shout out to the fan base. They came and brought it yesterday, as they have all postseason. Shout out to the coaching staff. They've done a great job developing these rookies, getting them ready for the moment, man. And shout out to the front office, Sheila, Brad.
Shout out Sheila.
What more can you say, man? This is absolutely a dream, and I just hope it keeps going, bro. That's all I can really say about it at this point.
One game at a time. You know who's next up? It's the San Francisco 49ers. So it's going to be a tough matchup. It's going to be playing in San Francisco, but luckily it's looking like it's going to be pretty good weather out there. So another warm weather game.
Yeah.
Jared Goff's home state.
A golf home game.
NFC Championship game.
A true golf home game.
Go out there and take care of business, man.
What's the date next Sunday? Does anybody know, like, the official
I
date?
can look.
Because I just want to know, because Justin hit the chat last night. Shout out to our guy Justin. But he's like, the moon never lies, because the moon blessed us with another W yesterday.
Next Sunday is the 28th.
The 28th. So I'm going to see what the moon's on the 28th. If we're dealing with another waxing,
oh my God.
gibbous, or whatever it may be. I'm just saying.
Mercury retrograde.
I'm just saying. The moon never lies.
You turn into one of them, Easy. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't
Babe,
do it.
can we do moon stuff tonight?
Yeah.
You an earthy chick?
What's your moon sign?
What's your moon sign?
I'm a Tyrannosaurus.
I can tell you what the Detroit Lions moon sign is.
That's
W.
W's.
Yeah.
Damn right.
W's. That's what I'm trying to find out,
W's.
okay? That's what I'm trying to find out. Big W's. I was going to jump into the first segment because we kind of missed the first half of the show with the audio issues.
Yeah.
By the way, hit the like button if you guys haven't. Appreciate you guys being patient with that one. Jumping right into this thing, man. Detroit Lions one win away from the Super Bowl. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff I'll mix it up with, too. It's Dan, Sheila, Brad. I think they're all a big part of this. I think one of my biggest takeaways, because I went live last night while I was lit, but one of my biggest takeaways is just, like, how magical this has all really been. Mm-hmm. And at some point during, like, just talking it out, I went live on the Speakeasy page. That's how lit I was. I haven't gone live on there since I was in my basement. But, like, it made me realize, being on that page, like, when I first started this journey in broadcasting, like, the Detroit Lions were divorcing Matt Patricia.
Yeah.
Like, this was all fairy tale.
This was unthinkable.
And it's all played out just as that. It has been magical, like, every step of the way. Once you've bought into Dan Campbell, I've never questioned him on anything. Like, once I finally, like, fell in love with him, I think for the same, it's almost everybody. It's to the point where, like, I'm able to go on, like, opposing fans podcast to the loose cannons with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last week, and even they're bought into Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
So like, that's how you know, as magical as it feels, this shit is real.
Yeah, man.
It is real. You got the motivation of a Dan Campbell, the magic, the superhero-ness that he has to hypnotize people and have them bought in, and then you add the Ben Johnson, the mathematics, the schemes, the nerdiness of it. It's all just come together quite well, man. And it's like, what it reminded me of is, because he's got that effect on everybody, from the fans, from the media, to opposing fan bases. It reminded me of this is my senior all-night party. We got hypnotized. But it wasn't just like anybody from the crowd was getting chosen to pick hypnotized. He picked like 6 people. And before he did like a thought exercise, we had to put like our hands up, and he came by and said certain words and tried to push him down. And it's if you bought into like what he was saying, he knew he was able to like, hypnotize you. And this is where it goes, like, from shout to Dan for being magical, but also Brad for being able to pick out the people who are willing to buy into like what this is.
I got hypnotized as shit in my senior high party.
So you too?
Yeah.
But see how they pick certain people to hypnotize?
Yeah.
Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes collectively as a unit, though, going out there both in free agency and through the draft class, finding those guys that are willing to buy into what the magic is in Dan Campbell and not stray away from that message, because it was tough sledding. Mm-hmm. They got it out the mud, you know what I'm saying? But they had to find those guys. And I, one of the people who've been critical of at points, because I want my shit right now. I'm going to go get that guy who can play. He clearly can play. Go get him. No. They had something in mind. They're cashing in right now ahead of us. People want me to admit wrong about anything. That's one thing I was wrong about. The vibes. Mm-hmm. The vibes was real. The cash in on the vibes. And we got to see it all play out. But it's not done yet. The story is, the fairy tale is not been signed off. It's no happily ever ending yet. But it's surely pointing that way.
Yeah, and Byrne in the Woodward Sports Chat says the moon phase for the 49ers game will be the same phase as when the Lions won their first NFL championship in 1935.
Get the fuck out of
Coincidentally,
here.
the Tigers and Wings won chips that year as well.
Stop it.
Get out of here.
This script is too much, man. I can't take it.
The moon is on our side. But you talked about buying in. You talked about buying in. These players buying in. The coaches, the coaching staff. You know who's the first person to buy in? First person to buy in this entire organization into Dan Campbell, into Brad Holmes, was Sheila Ford Hamp.
Yep.
Sheila Ford Hamp was the one that walked down there when the Lions hadn't won a game yet, when they were 1-7 or whatever the hell they were at, 1-5.
Yep.
Walked down there and said, "These are my guys. We brought them in here for a reason. This is Dan Campbell. This is Brad Holmes. I believe in them. I trust in them. I have their backs." And guess what? It's working out. You won the division. You won 2 playoff games. You're in the NFC Championship game. So shout out to you, Sheila, for making this a reality, for putting these pieces in a row, for going out and getting a Chris Spielman to sit in and be like, we need football guys in here. We need football minds in here. Get these dudes. For going out there, having faith in a Dan Campbell who, when the entire media world said, "Oh, this guy's a joke. This guy's a clown. Look at him talking about biting kneecaps. Yeah,
all type of shit.
He can't do anything. He's never going to be the head coach." Look at him now. Best head coach in Lions history already.
Rolling.
Now you look at Brad Holmes, a guy who, was it all Les Snead? What did he actually do in L.A.? Coming out here, putting together 3 of the best draft classes in the history of the Detroit Lions in a row. Guys that perform. Guys that give you results from day one. Jahmyr Gibbs, stud. Brian Branch, stud. Sam Laporta, stud. Penei Sewell, first draft pick, first team All-Pro. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 4th round draft pick, first team All-Pro. These guys know what they're doing. Brad Holmes is your executive of the year. Sheila Ford Hamp should be the owner of the year. And Dan Campbell is coach of the year. It's amazing to see what they're doing, how they've all come together at once and make this happen.
We actually have a video on Dan Campbell. Did you want me to play that one of him speaking about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's look, I got a lot of really, really outstanding people around me. All right. And I'm fortunate. And it takes a village, and without everybody involved, without Brad Holmes, without Sheila, Rod, Chris Spielman, without Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, Dave Phipp, I mean, you don't, I'm fortunate.
No, Dan, we're fortunate.
Very.
We are fortunate to see this. We are fortunate to have you in Detroit leading this. We are fortunate that you brought this accumulation of coaches together. That you had this talented team, this roster of guys buy into Dan Campbell, buy into the Detroit Lions, buy into grit. We're fortunate that you're the leader of this team. We are fortunate that you run out of that tunnel every day on game day. That you have these guys playing for their lives, playing for you, playing for the city. It's amazing. I love Dan Campbell.
It's funny, too, when you hear him like off those names because we relate it to like a fairy tale story because it does feel that way. But it reminds me of like that, what is the movie where she's waking up, she had that dream. She's like, and you were there, and Dave Phipp was there, and Aaron Glenn was there, and Ben Johnson was there. It was like Wizard of Oz. Like, it's I don't know, man. It's almost too good to be true. And you spoke on the Sheila part of it, too. Is like, that's the other part that's like, it's literally insane. Because Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell as well as they work together. You talk about Brad Holmes collectively grabbing these guys that buy into Dan Campbell and who he is as a person. But they never had no previous relationship prior to becoming Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
So it's just like the I don't know if it's like the luck of it all or you truly want to tip the hat. It's like knowing these guys would mesh or what it
Not
is.
only
But
that,
it's
was
amazing, man.
Dan Campbell was hired first, right? Before
I think Brad was first.
I think
I'm pretty sure
Dan was first, and then it was
first.
Brad Holmes, and that's normally not a recipe for success. Just off the outset.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know which way it went. Yeah, I think it's Brad Holmes, January 14th. And the only reason I know is because I was going live in my basement at that time, and I was arguing with fans about that. Brad Holmes, January 14th. But Dan Campbell, for that win to come, by the way, that's on the anniversary of his press conference.
Yeah.
Yesterday was the anniversary of the kneecap-biting press conference. And then another part you want to attach again to more storylines. Dan Campbell's first game as Detroit Lions head coach. You guys remember who he was against?
Ooh.
San Francisco 49ers. Who he playing next week? Man. Come on, bro. It's crazy. It feels crazy, but at the same time, it's real.
Yeah.
Like, excuse me for buying into it, but I'm witnessing it happen before my eyes.
It is real. It's here. The Lions are real. This team is real. And they have sustained success with their ability to draft, with their ability to develop young talent, have guys come in here in their first year be playmakers, have guys that are up for Rookie of the Year, defensive, offensive. All pros. These are all, it's built from the draft. It's sustained from the draft. You keep bringing in more talent. You got guys like Iffy blossoming in this late part of his career. It's amazing to see them do this, man. It's amazing to see them continue to do this. I love this team. I love the front office, the coaching staff. Everything is working like a well-oiled machine.
Well, shit, you talk about buying in. I mean, Derek Barnes is a perfect example of that too. A guy that, like, obviously 4th round pick, but in his 3rd year here, had to witness the Detroit Lions like cash in on a 1st round pick and Jack Campbell, and immediately had to, like, you know, reach out to Calvin Shepard, like, what's going on? And again, stayed bought into the system, stayed busting his ass, and lo and behold, he's sealing the game-sealing interception onto the NFC Conference Championship. You know how easy it'd be for a guy just like be disgruntled by that, just like pack it in, you know. But instead, because by intent, they grabbed these guys on purpose. They knew he was gonna, you know, put his nose to the grindstone and only get better from it. And it's the same thing from Jack Campbell. Witnessing, okay, like, pick me, 1st round pick. He's used to being a leader. You ever hear like his post draft interviews? He's already talking like he's in charge of the team, stuff like that. It's kind of crazy. But then, they just gave. Derek's a starter now. Mm-hmm. Oh, his Angel's a starter. Well, shit, I gotta bust my ass too. And I gotta, only way I can get on the field is a Sam linebacker. All right, bust my ass at that. Like, it's just it's all by nature. In fact, I think, Chris, if you have it, even Goff, I think, spoke on this in his presser yesterday. Was like, I don't know if I put it in there or not. I don't think I did. I mean, you could look at, I don't remember, you upload the videos, but even he mentioned, like, it's all by intent, and it's all like just, it's finally coming to fruition. Yeah. I think a little bit earlier than a lot of us thought.
Yeah, here he goes.
You do got it?
It's something that we've, it's not, I don't want to say like this arrogantly, but we expected to win the first game. We expected to win this game, and now we get to go to a game we expected to be in against a really good team at their place, and we're going to come into it expecting to win. It'll be a tough game, but it'll be fun.
So that's a different one, but we're definitely touching on that one because I loved hearing that. But first,
let me tell you about Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all this for just $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by, more than 50 in Metro Detroit, and thousands more throughout the world. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. Easy, what about Swiss? Never mind. Lady Jane's. Come to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win a trip to your dreams and all expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That's right, no expenses spared for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
At Planet Fitness, you can get energy without the judgment.
Hi, can you help me with this?
You don't know how to use it?
This is better.
Join now through January 19th for just 24 cents down, $10 a month. Never intimidating, always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. Join today during the Big Fitness Energy Sale for 24 cents down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal extended through January 19th.
Over 50 Metro Detroit locations.
248-800-4177. That's not the number.
No, it's not.
7144. I apologize. SwissINS.com. But hit up my guy Mark, importantly, because he's got the best in the business. That's home and auto insurance. It's Mark at SwissINS.com. Get connected, get the best in the business. And also, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer is Feldman Chevrolet. With over 18 locations, one right in your backyard. Make sure you guys visit the website, find the one nearest you, and catch Morning Woodward Show and BDE live every other Monday at the Feldman Chevrolet at Novi. What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights live at WoodSports.com. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my guy Spin More Rex.
What up, though?
Young Chris, no JB Smooth. We got Kenny G on the ones and twos. Are you here? Are you heavyweights now?
I'll be doing y'all sound going forward.
Okay, that's what's up, man. Hey, we got
Talk
King
your
G.
shit.
Talk your shit.
Hey,
JB quit on us because the glizzy, the double shaboing boing.
Yeah, y'all put him in the hot dog, so it was over after that.
What a way to go out.
Got a super chat from Zach. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce that last name. Killian? Either way, he says, moving here in the 0-16 year and listening to Dan Miller due to the blackouts to his fucking magical. You're good enough for Detroit, Dan Campbell. Hell yeah.
Damn right.
Shout out.
Hell yeah. When did you... I guess I don't remember the moment I bought in Dan Campbell. I feel like I kind of just did.
Yeah. I bought in from the kneecap speech.
I feel like that too, yeah.
Because, like, everybody else thought that shit was crazy, but he was talking directly to the fan base.
Facts.
And, like, I didn't care about nothing. Because other coaches have come here and they give us that coach speak, the same old bullshit, and we get the same old results. But I bought in when he came and said, hey, look, we going to get beat up, but we going to bite kneecaps on the way up, and we going to be the last one standing. 3 years later, look at where we at now.
Yeah.
Dude, the other thing, too, is, like, when he's, like, I think when he broke, like, the coach character and was like kind of like fuck the coach speak.
He doesn't do things like other coaches.
I think he said bullshit coach speak.
Yeah, he doesn't bullshit you in the press conference. He's going to tell you exactly what's going on. Yeah. He's going to tell you exactly how he feels about situations. He came out there and he's kind of thrown players under the bus before. He said, Jameson Williams will never have those elite pass catching hands.
Yeah.
And guess what? It inspired the kid. He's gone out there. He's played very well ever since. He's not going to give you anything soft. He's going to tell you how he's feeling. He's going to put it on the table. Players respect that. They respect the fact that he has done it before as a player, that he's been in this league, that he's been in this city, that he knows what it means for this city to have a winner, that he knows how much this city loves their football team. And now he's got this team. This is the best Detroit Lions team that has been here since 1957. So shout out to Dan Campbell for making it possible that this team is ready to go. This team is one win away from the Super Bowl. This team is one win away from going to the fucking Super Bowl. Like this, if you told me that at the beginning of the year, I would say, yeah, maybe I could see it. No, it's happening. It's happening. I don't care who's in front of them. Feed me the 49ers. I'm ready for them. Yes. Shout out to Lou Bega in the Woodward Sports chat. He says, with the 32nd pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select the best silver polish on today's market for Sheila Hamm's Lombardi Trophy case.
Nice.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Shout out. How you guys feeling? Like, I guess early vibes on the 49ers matchup.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
What's the vibe?
Seeing how this team, seeing the 49ers and watching that 49ers and Green Bay game, I was watching that saying the Lions can beat both of these teams.
Absolutely.
The Lions can beat both of these teams.
Kenny?
I said it before this divisional game. I'm not scared of the 49ers. I feel like we match up well with them in a lot of areas. The only clear advantage is the defense, obviously. But offensively, that's a wash, man. Like, they got good backs. We got better backs, to me, in my eyes. They got great receivers. We got great receivers. I just want to see it play out on the field, man. But definitely, the Lions is going to give them everything they asked for and then some. Best believe that.
Deebo Samuel, 50-50 shot to play.
Yeah.
Fractured his shoulder again. I think it was the same injury he had in the middle of the season, if I'm not mistaken. But they don't know what's going on with him yet. I've already heard, and then I don't take anything to heart. But Stephen A. already said it. If Deebo don't play, he's taking the Lions, which is just like, it's crazy to hear just that sentence alone when it comes like the San Francisco 49ers, the big bad boys of the NFC. Yeah. But also to know that like him saying that also means the Detroit Lions are going to the Super Bowl. It's just crazy. What a time. What a time to be alive. Do you got, I don't even want to get into that yet. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot to digest. How about this? You got on here, you got MVPs of the game.
MVPs of the game, I think there's one guy that stands out amongst the others. There's one guy that kind of put head and shoulders, I would say, above the rest of the players in this game based on his play in the game, based on the grit he showed coming back in the game, based on what he was doing out there and what he means to this team. And that is Frank Ragnow, the center for the Detroit Lions. He suffered a knee sprain, suffered an ankle sprain, didn't miss an offensive snap. He played every offensive snap for the Detroit Lions. Went out there, made plays. He is the best center in the league. Like I'm sorry, Jason Kelce, even if you didn't retire, Frank Ragnow is the best center in the league. It is so pivotal to have him out there. The confidence him and Jared Goff share together, that goes without saying. A quarterback and his center is a very important 1-2 exchange. The two guys on the field that touch the ball every single snap. And seeing Frank Ragnow go through the injuries that get rolled up on a couple times and not miss a snap, not miss a down on offense. Still play, grit through it, going up against Vita Vea, one of the best interior defensive linemen in the NFL, a load of a man that you have to worry about at all times because he can be a game wrecker and be Frank Ragnow. Push this team down the field, help the run game, set up blocks, keep Goff out of pressure. Shout out to Frank Ragnow, man.
Absolutely.
In fact, we got Dan Campbell speaking on Frank Ragnow and I guess the intricacies of that situation too.
Yeah.
So yesterday, Frank was talking about, Ragnow was talking about
Chris,
the challenge that Tampa presented in the looks, the way they disguise stuff.
Yes.
And he and the way he and Jared were communicating, trying to figure that out. Yeah. He said that was the most enjoyable part, really, of the game, and that he loves that part of football. We think of him as this tough guy and fight through injuries and all that. He's that too, but just was curious if you could speak to that part of what makes him so bad.
Yeah, look, I will. It's so. Look, every week, every day of the week to prepare when we have special teams meetings, we have our team meeting, then we go special teams, and during that time, the O-line and Goff and the backs come upstairs, and we go over all the blitz looks, and we've kind of got our whole big screen there, and we go over all of it. And so you're already working through those, and you're working through your base rules. This is what we need to do. This, if we happen to get this look, blah blah. So they go through that, and it's imperative that Frank and he are on the same page, and that they understand there could be these very few looks that haven't shown up since week 2. We may need to be ready. If it is, it's a rule breaker, and we got to do this with it. And that's not easy. But to your point, Frank loves that stuff, right? There's some guys that get a lot of anxiety over that, and Frank is not that way. Like, Frank loves that, right? He loves to be tested in that regard. And so, man, to have those guys on the same page, I mean, it means everything to, especially when you throw it like we're throwing it. I mean, it's everything to your pass game, and it's another one of those reasons why we were able to keep him upright yesterday. So, Frank prides himself on the mental side of the game. Not only that, protection, but the run game. Like, he wants to give me the game plan, give it to me early. He's like, we times we hadn't got it spit out yet, and it's 4:30 in the morning. And he's on one of our young coaches to, hey, I need this thing now. So he prides himself in it, and it's one of the reasons why he's arguably the best center in the league. He is the best center in the league, in my opinion.
I agree with Dan Campbell with him being the best center in the league too, by the way. Like, just the stuff that we've watched him go through the past 2 years to continue to, like, I guess, going above beyond, like, with the injuries and still perform at the level he has. I think he cashed in a second-team All-Pro. But I feel like Jason Kelce, and I don't want to discredit him at all. He is a very good center, but I feel like he got his first-team All-Pro due to, like, the narrative and flowers he got from, like, exiting the league because he's looking important towards, like, retirement, it looks like. But here's Frank Ragnow speaking on, by the way, I don't know if you noticed when he did did you guys watch the Frank Ragnow presser? He's not used to speaking to the media, so he has, like, a Gatorade bottle. He's like, am I allowed to drink this? It's such, like, a heavyweight question. Like, hey, you go finish that? Can I eat this? Yeah. But here's Frank Ragnow speaking on, like, playing through the injuries and, I guess, doing what he does.
To me, the pain, I'm not trying to sound like some brute tough guy here, but I was just more frustrated than anything, the fact that it just, again, but it was tough, but it was worth it.
What allows you to play through that? Other people can't, maybe.
My parents, I don't know. My dad was one of the toughest people I've ever met. My mom's one of the toughest people I've ever met. And I just take a lot of pride in being out there with the guys, being out there for the city. They signed me to this extension a few years ago, and I want to be fulfilling that, I don't want to be that guy who gets paid and not doing that stuff, I want to be out there and finding a way to win.
And don't get it wrong, like, this is what the success of the team is built on, is this offensive line. It is Frank Ragnow. It is Penei Sewell. It is that we have the best unit in the NFL. That you have the most elite unit of offensive linemen in the NFL. Keeping Jared Goff clean so he can sit back there and pick teams apart. Creating lanes in this running hole, in this running game, so Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery can carve teams up. This offensive line is everything for this team. Frank Ragnow is a huge part of that. I thought he should have been first-team All-Pro. He gets second-team All-Pro. I'll take it. Penei Sewell is the best offensive lineman in the NFL. Graham Glasgow stepped in, filled in great all year this year. Taylor Decker, as solid as it comes at left tackle. And then Jonah Jackson, who unfortunately goes down with the injury, but Yodi steps in and he doesn't miss a beat. So this offensive line has been fantastic for this team for the past 2 years. They're the best unit in the NFL. They're the best offensive line in the NFL. Shout out to Hank Fraley. Shout out to Frank Ragnow, Penei Sewell, Graham Glasgow, Taylor Decker, Yodi, Jonah, Skip, all those guys, man. They're what keeps this team moving.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's like he's just, I know we do for sure as heavies, but that might be the next jersey rotation, man. Like witnessing what he's overcome just in that game alone. You saw him go down, and you're already thinking like, fuck, like
guy fell on his leg twice.
Yeah. And like you mentioned too, he's not just going against like any scrubs. Like Elijah Cansey, I think has proven himself as a damn good like pass rusher. I think we knew that coming out of the draft. And Vita Vea, I don't know why he's not considered. He's not talked about more about being like one of the best defensive linemen in the league because he's just that. The dude's an absolute menace. But to come back with the injury and just to fight through it, the mental fortitude it takes, because that's like the biggest, I guess, hurdle for anybody, I believe, is like mentally.
And they're going to need him. They're going to need him to be 100, especially with Jonah being out. Frank Ragg, 49ers defensive line is no easy task.
That's facts.
Especially in the middle. You got guys like Hargrave and Kinlaw, and on the outside, you know, you got Bosa and you got Young. So,
and then yesterday was just one example of it too. Like we mentioned earlier, right when the show started, the breaking news: Jonah Jackson meniscus surgery. Frank came back from meniscus surgery. If I'm not mistaken, it was like 11 days afterward or something like that. Like this dude, I guess it needs to be spotlighted. Again, he's the next jersey in Roto one. He's a heavyweight one. He holds the fort down. He's calling out the blitzes, helping Jared Goff with protections, holding down the middle between no matter who's it's been. I remember last year, the game opening season was against Jordan Davis. And I was like, fuck. Because I remember all offseason, they're showing Jordan Davis like push these defenders on the Eagles' good defense around like nothing. I'm sorry, offensive line, I should say, like nothing. And then you didn't even notice him in that game last year.
Yeah.
And that Frank is just him. And now he's still doing the same things alongside the injury.
I have 3 more players that I want to give game balls to. Obviously, Frank was my number one. He gets the biggest game ball. He gets the MVP because of what he did, what he means for this team, and how he came back. Personified grit. Like Sam Laporta did last week. This week, Frank Ragnow personified grit. Went out there, took care of business. But I got 3 more game balls that I want to give out. But first, we got to go to break. Tell us about Fairway.
I'll tell you about Fairway. For over 6 years, we provide Michigan's finest hotels, restaurants, and casinos with the finest prime Wagyu beef, dry-aged beef, and more. Visit them at fairwaypacking.com, get delivered to your front door, or stop in Grosse Pointe for grab-and-go steaks.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune in to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel. How would you like to win not 1, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
RIP to the same old Lions. Big thanks to Sheila, Brad, and Dan for putting them to rest. And guess what else found a grave? Same old rock, paper, scissors. Jack Labrador has revolutionized that tired game with 2 new symbols and a franchise-changing 3-point play. Discover the action at jacklabrador.gg now and find out why once you go Jack, you never go back.
You guys are unbelievable, man. I'm telling you. We talked about it all year. This started a long time ago. You're built for this. You're built for this, man. And look what you guys did. You went out there and it's another hype team that we knocked off. It's the next hype team that you knock off. You know how hard it is to win in this league in the playoffs? Do you understand what you're doing right now? What we're capable of? That's 2. All right, that's 2. We got 2 to go. With a bye in the middle. I'm unbelievably proud of everybody in here, man. Coaches, players. That's the way to mount up, man. That's a fucking difficult team to beat, man. All right, I got 1 game ball. Man, in the game, need to play. Derek Barnes.
Hey man, love y'all boys, man. From the support in the linebacker room, the coaches, staff, organization, offense, man. 3 years, man. It took me 3 years to get the first interception, but it means more because the people who believed in me.
Yeah,
you know, a lot of people didn't. The room, this ball, you know, I got to give it to the linebacker room because I said we was gonna bring one back, and God, we did. And you got to believe how far we can go, man. Yes, believe it now. Believe it now. This is a good win. Enjoy it, man. This comes once in a lifetime. Like Alex used to tell me, man, a lot of people don't make it this far, but we did, man. I love everybody in this room, man. Everybody in here deserve it. That's why we here, like Coach said. Hey, man, time to prepare for San.
Let's fucking go.
I love that shit, man.
Hey, man. I'm so happy for that guy. I'm so fucking happy for that guy.
Yeah.
Because I remember it wasn't long ago in the offseason where we were like...
He was praying to God.
Yeah. And honestly, I had no issue with it because I did the same.
Yeah.
But to be like at that point, you know, where, like your back is literally against the wall. I mean, he felt like that in that scenario.
Yeah. Damn.
Victorious, bro.
We forgetting about the Dallas game,
Yeah.
man. The Dallas game where he whiffed on that sack that probably, you know, resulting in us losing that game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, to atone for that, man, is just absolutely huge, man. I'm so happy for him, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's amazing.
It's the topic of game balls. Derek Barnes.
Yeah.
Derek Barnes. Obviously, Frank Ragnow, we did too.
I got a couple more.
Who you got?
I got one of them, Brian Branch.
Oh, yeah.
Brian Branch gets a game ball. The kid went out there. He played the game of his life. He had 9 tackles. He had 2 tackles for loss. He had a sack. He was flying around. Then at the end of the game, what does he do? What does he do? He comes out there and says, I need to play better. I need to play better. I could have a better game. I didn't give my best game. The man was making plays, dude. Brian Branch, steal of the draft, out there flying around, doing everything for this team. Shout out to Brian Branch. Love him. He's thriving in this system. He's showing that all the teams that dropped him on their draft boards, that didn't take a chance on him, why they should have. Because Brian Branch has been making plays.
You know, it's like there's definitely one, and I can almost clean sweep that safety room with this one. Game ball, Aaron Glenn, AG. You talked about Derek Barnes, hearing from AG all week, going up, you know, they like to throw the ball up the seams to help lead that interception. How about you talk about Brian Branch flying in for those sacks? Who schemed that up? Aaron Glenn.
Yeah.
And you took a lot of backlash this season, but once he finally got the pieces he wanted to work with back, Nafonte Melifonwu, obviously CJ a little bit later in the season, but you start seeing a different version of this defense. Those blitzes, we didn't see. I do know that we did see them up until, I want to say that was the Ravens game. Because I remember Tracy Walker just wasn't landing home. He was being sent. He just wasn't landing home. But once he got the pieces that he intended to have, like throughout this season, that's a different pass rush. Yeah. And for him to, I guess, I mean, it was out there too. You know how Baldy does the breakdowns?
Yeah.
4 safety lineups out there. Did you guys catch that? He had Kirby, he had Branch, he had Iffy, he had them all out there.
Yeah.
I think Iffy had 2 sacks yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
He had 1.5.
GJ with an interception?
Yeah.
Like they're all out there doing the damn thing.
And then he flipped the ball to Baker on the side.
Oh, that was great. That was savage. You might have to 3-cam this one because it's game footage, Chris, or throw it up or however you want to do it. But
yeah, it's only 2 seconds, so I'm sure we can just throw it up one time.
Absolute savage for this. Obviously, you guys, if you guys don't know, there was like a storyline throughout the week where CJ had mentioned they could be like a great receiving core, talking about the Tampa Bay unit, but they need a better quarterback and they could be great. And then Baker responded, well, I guess he's not watching the film because he had mentioned like Russell Gage being along there. And then, back and forth all week. Not really. CJ kind of just took it from there. And when I went on that show, too, that was my bold prediction. I was like, because they were talking like, yeah, you woke up Baker Mayfield. Baker's got something to prove now. No, you woke up CJ. What the fuck? That's all he does is walk and talk shit. You play video. I was waiting for you to play video. I mean, yeah.
He gets the interception and flips the ball to Baker on the sideline.
Just
come on now. I think he tweeted after the game too. I expect the ball back in a jersey, or something like that.
He tweeted today. I watch more film than you think.
Yeah, perfect. And speaking of like Baker too, just while we're on the topic of it, I didn't even peep this during the game until afterwards. The Amon St. Brown, remember he scored his touchdown.
Yeah.
By the way, fucking beautiful ball, beautiful catch. That was sexy. But that was
He
that
did the
Baker
little
Mayfield.
Baker dance.
That was a rookie day dance. I didn't even peep the savagery in that one.
This team talks shit, man. This team talks a lot of shit. And they back it up.
Exactly.
And it's great. It's great.
Listen, to talk the talk, you got to walk the walk. And that's exactly what Detroit Lions are. You got a couple other game balls to give out, though.
Yeah, one of them I'm giving it to Jared Goff. You see, he went out there. I said it last week after the game. Like, I have my opinion. I have my number that I'm not going forward when you talk about an extension. But he went out there and he had another game. Game changer, game manager. Looked like a pretty damn good game manager out there. He had another 70% completion game, 287 yards, 2 touchdowns, and again, the most important part, no interceptions.
Yep.
No interceptions, did not turn the ball over, comfortable in the pocket, made some great throws to different players throughout the game. The past 3 games, Jared Goff has played his best football all year outside of that Denver game.
Yeah.
The past 3 games, Jared Goff has been playing great football, so hats off to him.
Hey, also, you forgot that rush line. I think he had like 7 rush yards. Remember that play?
And you want to know, it was actually more than that, but he had to take the knee.
Oh, yeah.
So knee takes off like 2 yards for every knee you take, too. No, if you want to talk about Jared Goff, how about the fourth quarter? Jared Goff, 11 for 12, 131 yards, and 1 touchdown. Whew. Passer rating 139.9. Shout out to Corey Woods for putting that one out there on Twitter. But you noticed it. And you saw it talking about playing the best ball. He has been. Like this playoffs, all season long, something you could bring up if you're a Jared Goff truther or whatever you may call yourself is the duck. It was there. These past 2 playoff games,
you got a little zing on him.
Ain't too many ducks out there flying around. This guy is zeroed in. He's locked in. He's got the leadership with Dan Campbell. He's got the schematics of Ben Johnson and the mindset that he has right now. It's a fucking dangerous combination. It's a fucking dangerous cocktail.
Yeah.
What up?
He speaks on that mindset going into this. This is the one I played earlier.
It's something that we've it's not. I don't want to say like this arrogantly, but we expected to win the first game. We expected to win this game, and now we get to go to a game we expected to be in against a really good team at their place, and we're going to come into it expecting to win. It'll be a tough game, but it'll be fun.
He's goddamn right. I'm telling you, whatever everyone's I got this feeling in my gut. Pause. But like, at no point in this postseason have I felt like our season was coming to an end. There was a little bit of like anxiousness coming into the Stafford week, but as I remember it specifically, it was a Wednesday, like 11 o'clock. It hit me. I was like, oh my God, they're winning this game. They're the better team. This is outright, and we have just enough coaching as they got over there. Yep. They're going to cash a W, the motivation factor too. When it clicked for me, how much this team loves Jared Goff, they're going to play for Jared Goff, it was personal beyond just like what it was for him. The team was riding for him in that one. And I think that they carried that to the playoffs now. I think he's gotten his own comfort too. I think Jared Goff, I think Dan Campbell had to answer questions about like his calmness. I think it was at the presser today. And he's been just that. This guy is zeroed in. This is a different Jared Goff. This guy's in kill mode.
Confident.
Again, with the rest of it too, different combination.
It's perfect timing because that San Francisco defense is no joke. So you're going to need 0 dark 30 Goff. Yeah. Like you're going to need him to go out there and go for the kill because he's going to be seeing some pressure.
Yep.
With no Jonah Jackson, banged up Frank Ragnow, like that defensive line is going to get some pressure on him. So we're going to need him to be as locked in as he has been these past couple weeks.
This ain't got shit to do with shit, but I just felt like clowning this organization because now that we're no longer the bottom feeders. Carolina Panthers, you know who they ended up signing for the GM job? The previous assistant GM, Dan Morgan. And I don't know if you guys saw this over the weekend too. Mike Disner was interviewing for that job. He was. Removed himself from the pool. Nobody wants to be there, bro.
David Tepper, he's aggressive, man.
He's
an aggressive owner.
He throw the freaking water at fans.
Yeah. And he does not like losing in any way, shape, or form.
He's not even patient enough to like have a Dan Campbell experience. You know, so he just nobody wanted to go there. That's why he had the upgrade from within. Yep. That's crazy, man. It's crazy that the NFL, they're so picky and choosy who becomes owners, but they allowed that guy. I feel like he's embarrassing for sure himself, but I mean, we got to see it play out. maybe that aggressiveness turns out.
Tepper is a clown for sure.
He is a clown. We got 2 minutes in. I think we share one on this one. Jameer Gibbs game ball.
Hell of a performance.
I went back to when I should have clipped it. Actually, I think I did, but it's like fast forwarded. I don't have my laptop. My laptop and card got stolen last night. Shout out. But anyway, we talked about it.
At least we got the win.
The minute Ben Johnson re-signed, we were like, yeah, I think we're going to draft a running back. At the time, we said it's Bijan, but then I was like, well, actually, I don't even care if it's not Bijan because Brad Holmes gave us Kirby when I wanted Kyle Hamilton. And Kirby was like almost just as sufficient. I never seen that coming. It may not be Bijan, but they're going to get a running back. The running back ended up being Jameer Gibbs.
I said Gibbs. I said the second round, though. I didn't think it was.
Oh, yeah, because we didn't know they were going to trade back and get the extra picks and whatnot. But like Jameer Gibbs yesterday, to me, was a difference maker. It's funny because we mocked the nickname from our guy Chef, but the electrician.
Yeah.
The electrician. Did it not electrify and wake up both the crowd and this offense when he went for that? Was I think it's 39 yard or 31 yard?
Yeah.
How long was it?
Yeah, I don't know, but he only had 4 catches. He had 9 carries. And he had 114 all-purpose yards. He was averaging 8.2 yards per carry.
I mean, you're talking about an all-pro safety, Antoine Winfield. They lined up with one-on-one and just dusted him.
Cooked him.
Dusted him.
And then
gave him a
shit.
fucking hand sandwich in the end zone, too. Well, yeah, talk your shit, young man. I mean, this is his rookie year doing this shit, man.
Yeah.
I remember... I would like to see running backs and receivers. I feel like in the rookie years you can hit the ground running. But then I paced myself. I think it was Jeff actually pulled it out. Shout out to Jeff Ifredi. But he put the side by sides. C-Mac's like rookie year and Jameer's rookie year. In those first like 4 games, C-Mac wasn't getting much love either, but obviously went on to become C-Mac. Mm-hmm. Now we see this in Jameer Gibbs. I think a top 10 guy right now, man.
Kid's definitely top 10. He's electric. He's the electrician, man. Whenever he gets the ball, you just feel like he's going to make a play. He's going to do something special. And I remember those first couple games, a lot of people were down on him. A lot of people were like, oh, why aren't they giving him the ball? Why aren't they doing this? You can't run between the tackles, blah, blah, blah. And I saw a couple of the plays. I saw how he finished a couple runs on the outside, and I was like, yeah, this kid's got it.
Yeah.
This kid's going to be good. And when D-Mont went down, they took the training wheels off. And they unleashed him, and now he has been a force in the NFL ever since.
When it comes to those situations, because it's happened here too with Isaiah Buggs, it's happened here even a couple weeks ago with like the CJ stuff. I've always had faith in this coaching staff that they're making the right choice. Like they're doing what they're doing for a reason. Even when it comes like James Houston, like we may find ourselves impatient because we know he's capable of, and we're angsty because we want to see it out there. But like I believe that they're making the right choice. And by the way, if Fontu Melifonwu, a lot of people told me he wasn't deserving of those playoff snaps because if he had more experience, dude's balling.
Yeah.
Dude's balling.
He had a great game. 9 tackles, sack and a half.
I tried to we couldn't discount what we saw out of those 5 games. That was a 5-game sample size where he was literally going fucking Super Saiyan. It was insane. Mm-hmm. But they obviously made the right choice with him, and then Jameer Gibbs too, pacing him along. Now he's in the game, fucking tearing it up. And I think what they're doing with the yin and yang, keeping these guys healthy too.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? No, you don't need the wear and tear on them.
Yeah.
But Chris, give me the sign for break. So Chris, tell us about the merch.
Okay. The Woodward Sports merch is the best place to get your merchandise. Are you tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports merch? It's a new era in sports wearables. New design, amazing appeal, the ultimate swag. Check out Woodward Sports. Get the latest gear at woodwardsports.com. Click the shop tab. Tees, hats, all guaranteed to turn heads. Get the latest designs today at woodwardsports.com. Click the shop tab.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune in to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Have you ever wondered where all the finest restaurants get their steaks? It's Fairway Packing Company, providing Michigan restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef for over 60 years. But now you can buy these cuts of meat for yourself at the Steak Shop by Fairway Packing Company. Prime porterhouse, A5 Japanese New York strip steak, dry aged Wagyu beef tomahawk. Delicious. Get to the Steak Shop today. Enjoy fine wine, have a private party, and get the finest cuts of meat anywhere. The Steak Shop on Mack Avenue in Grosse Pointe Woods, or order online, fairwaypacking.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Guys, bullseyeeventgroup.com is where you purchase tickets for the Lions' official VIP tailgate party brought to you by Long Drink. We were there this past weekend. And you know who happened to come through? Warren freaking Sapp, fellow heavyweight. Got
Hall
connected
of
with your
Fame
boy Eazy.
heavyweight.
Hall of Fame heavyweight. And it was a ball.
That's
Warren
crazy.
Sapp's the man. Listen, you never know who's going to pull up. I think now that the heavy's been there, I think we've been turning it up a little bit. Listen, we brought Warren Sapp, brought my guy Scotty from Questionable Tees. Shout out to Scotty from Questionable Tees for even connecting the Warren Sapp situation. But get your tickets, bullseyeeventgroup.com. It's the official Lions VIP tailgate party. DJ Don Mecca, and brought to you by Long Drink. It is.
Shout out.
Heavies on heavies. Warren
That's
Sapp's
dope, man.
It is dope. And so things were getting a little feisty there with Warren. And I was talking to him. He's like, look, man, I'm not crazy. I just don't. This is how I am. This is why I was a Hall of Famer. That's the attitude he had that brought that viciousness, that brought him a 16-sack season as a tier defensive lineman.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Noah watched his highlights his rookie year. He had an interception, pick 6.
Dude's a monster.
Absolute beast. Shout out to Warren Sapp for coming through. It's crazy that we're trying to do our MVPs, which was like the second segment of the show. But we mentioned earlier how like Brad is grabbing these guys that buy into Dan Campbell's, I guess, mantra, the grit, everything that they represent. That there's MVPs all over the place. There's so many high character guys, so many high performing guys on that field, on both sides of the ball. I guess more so offense, I ain't gonna lie. But there's so many of them that it's just hard to like hand pick only 2 or 3 or 5. Like it's just, Brad Holmes truly tailored what may end up being a Super Bowl roster this year. And to all the people in the chat, you're wrong about golf. What do you mean I was wrong about? The 12-5 record? The playoff wins? If they win the Super Bowl, they bring on one of these, that's when you'll be able to get me to admit that I was wrong. That's the one thing I doubted that Jared Goff could bring this organization. And when we did mention it, flirting with it being a possibility, it was along the lines of exactly what Brad Holmes has done. And that's on wax too. A lot of people like talking a lot of shit. You don't pull receipts because the receipts just prove everything we've got to say. We spoke factually about acquiring a running back to do so because that's what Jared Goff had back in L.A. Was a freaking Gurley, Todd Gurley.
Dude was a monster.
They might cook this up, man. They might cook this up, and you guys might be able to get your apology. But I gotta be wrong first. Let me be wrong about something meant that I was wrong. Was it a 12-5 record? You want me, sorry for being wrong about the 12-5 record. Was it the playoffs? Oh, sorry about that. Was it the division? Sorry for saying they were in the division. What are we doing? What are we doing, guys? Moving on to other things, though. Pull up the New York Times thing right there.
Oh man, this I sent to my boy. My boy was a Dallas Cowboys apologist.
New York Post.
Yeah,
I want that framed.
I said I got one coming to his doorstep.
Yeah,
you got one? You ordered one?
Yeah, I ordered one for him. It's shipping to him.
That's dope.
Are the Detroit Lions the real America's team? Kenny, I'm gonna go to you on this one because you kind of been quiet
you already
today.
know where I'm going with this.
What's up, man?
Fuck the Cowboys all day long. Of course, the Detroit Lions are America's team, and it's not just like I'm sick of the national media trying to make this out like it's a cute, fun story. At this point, it's not. If it was a cute, fun story, we would have lost to Matthew Stafford, and we would have been swept under the rug, never to be seen again. This team is absolutely for real. And then the thing that really gets me about this team is this is only the beginning. The fact that you have such a young core that is carrying this team on rookie deals, man, there's no limit to what the hell we could do in the next 3 to 4 to 5 years, man. I'm just excited for it. Absolutely. The new SOL are the Dallas Cowboys. That's how I feel.
Fuck the Cowboys. They're bringing back, what's his name? I can't think of his name.
Mike McCarthy?
Mike McCarthy, yeah.
That's a joke.
They're not worried about winning if they're bringing back Mike McCarthy.
SOC.
Yeah. Jerry Jones just wants somebody he can control.
Yep.
That's all it is.
That's big facts. Chris? You went and bought the Frank.
Yeah, I bought one for my friend, and it doesn't make sense. Like, he's in Atlanta, and he's just a diehard Cowboys fan, so I already give him shit for that.
Oh, yeah.
So then on top of that, he's like saying, "Oh, the Eagles are a worse fan base than the Lions, or the Lions are quickly becoming worse than the Eagles fans," and it's like, oh. You see the common thread here? Both these teams smack your team.
Yep.
Like, and that Detroit should have won. So, yeah, it's just it's always been America's team. Like, look at the Vegas money. Everybody put money on this team. Look at the national coverage. They opened the season against the Kansas City Chiefs, and now let's finish the season how we start and meet them in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it. That's America's team right there.
They are
America's
America's team. They are America's team. They've been America's team, I feel like, since Hard Knocks.
Absolutely.
When the American public was exposed to Dan Campbell, to what he truly is, to this culture that they're building in Detroit, to what this team means to the city, what they mean to each other, what these players go through. Hard Knocks really established that for a lot of the fringe fans, people that don't know too much about the Lions, people that don't follow the Lions like we do, that don't eat, sleep, breathe, live Lions. That was something that was like, okay, now we start liking them. And then you see that the talking heads starting talking about them. Mina Kimes, Dan Orlovsky, Stephen A. Smith, all these guys start talking about the Lions, And now they're backing that shit up and they're going to the NFC Championship game. So, yes, they are America's team.
Yeah. It's America's team. Cowboys aren't America's team. Cowboys are the 1%. They're the glitz, the glamour. Oh, look at us. They wear the white jerseys at home games just to be different.
Yeah.
All the stars want to go there. Yeah, like they're the divas of the world. That is not America. True America is what the Detroit Lions are. That's that Midwest, that blue collar, that hard working. I mean, the coach is a freaking blue-eyed gunslinger, for Christ's sakes. Gambling, Dan Gamble. Who's America? The Boston Tea Party. Don't give a shit. We bought ours. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the representation of America. This is America's team.
Talk to them.
And almost everybody's on board about it. Mm-hmm. Almost everybody, because we got some haters in the NFC North. I see the Bears fans out there. I see the Vikings fans. I see the sorry ass Rams fans, if
and
you
the
will.
NFC West, yeah.
But this is America's team.
Yep.
For all the reasons we just mentioned, on top of the fact that what did they just do last week in the Rams game? They broke the record, or had the most watched viewed game since the Super Bowl.
Since the Super Bowl.
That's America's team.
Mm-hmm.
America's team is doing that. America's team has the coach that everybody loves. It's fucking too good to be true.
America wins. How could the Dallas Cowboys be America's team? America wins. We win wars. Ask Britain.
Yeah.
Bars.
As Britain. As the Germans.
The America
wins.
Says
America's team isn't sitting at home right now.
Damn right.
America's team doesn't have a quarterback named Rain. America's team has a GM and an owner that are both great people and great at their jobs. Mm-hmm. Not one combined that's a piece of shit and terrible at his job. The Cowboys were never America's team. They will never be America's team. America's team is the Detroit Lions.
Yes, sir. Look at that.
Facts.
Look at me. I'm America's team now. No, I love it, man.
Shout out
and
Captain
that was a part,
Phillips.
Chris. What'd you say?
I said shout out Captain Phillips.
Do you think when do you think we'll turn to like the bad guys? Like when do you think like the
after we win
absolutely
once we win, it's easy to root for the team that hasn't won yet.
Yeah.
Then it's easy to root for the guy that gets to the top. But once you get to the top, everybody wants to.
How soon does it flip
after
though?
we win?
Like you think people be over it like next year?
It's
or
gonna
like,
flip real soon.
Yeah, we have to get like
because we're gonna kick another team's fan base out of the playoffs this week.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to beat another team's fan base and send them home in the Super Bowl next week.
Yep, that's 4.
And then you run it back next year. And guess what? You win the NFC North again. Those Bears fans, those Packers fans, those Vikings fans are going to get more and more salty.
Shit, not
then
cute
you
no
kick
more.
another team
Yeah,
out of the
facts.
playoffs. So that's a fan base that hates you. You kick another team off the playoffs. That's a fan base that hates you. You go from America's team to a hated team when you start stacking up bodies. When you start stacking up bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Right now we got the NFC North as a body. We got the Los Angeles Rams as a body. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as a body. Soon to be San Francisco 49ers. You go from America's team to America's most wanted when you start stacking up bodies and stacking up championships.
That's when we become like the America that's like, I don't want to be insensitive, but America's,
everybody else
dropping nukes. Yeah. The world police America, like we run shit around them motherfuckers. But it truly is like because you think about America, it was really just a colony, the 13 colonies of stars and whatnot. Underdog, Detroit Lions, then come over to take over. That's the part we're missing. I can see it, even if they don't do it this year, I can see it turn next year. Yeah. Just because the narrative might be overblown a little bit. The same way they did like the Taylor Swift stuff.
Yeah, I think they're gonna get a little cute, like with Green Bay, what they did last year. Like, remember at the start of this season when it was like pretty clear that the Lions were gonna win this division almost by default in a sense. And they were still trying to talk up Chicago. They were still trying to talk up the one win Minnesota Vikings, the 1-point win Minnesota Vikings. Like they tried to talk everybody into it. So they're gonna do it because Green Bay had a good season. They're gonna.
I don't give a piss about none but the pride. Look at those guys. Look at Tampa Bay sitting at home. Look at Chicago sitting at home. Look at the Rams sitting at home. Green Bay. Shouts out to Green Bay. They overperformed this year. Sitting at home.
Cozy.
Lions still playing. Lions are in the championship game. Lions are going to San Francisco. And they're coming back with a banner.
Hey.
Lindsey Hunter, you hear that? I'm not scared of your fucking Niners.
Yeah, he on watch.
Bring them on. They're a good team, though. They're a very good team.
They are.
They're actually quite respectable.
They're a very respectable franchise and organization. But fuck them.
Yep.
This week.
Lions are coming for names.
Tell us about Big Boy.
Big Boy. Wintertime in Detroit is always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. Try the veal parmesan or the new Southern Comfort chicken bowl. How about breakfast? The stuffed potato pancakes are back. The classic lumberjack or the Santa Fe Garden. Also the new apple pie hotcakes that are too good to miss. Top it all off with a gingerbread shake for dessert. All of that and more at your local Big Boy.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Savor the heart of home at Big Boy with our all-new down-home comfort dishes. Feast on home-style goodness with our Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl, veal parmigiana, and apple pie hotcakes. The down-home delight doesn't stop there. Potato pancakes are back. Dive into the richness of our perfectly crafted potatoes with our classic potato pancakes and our stuffed potato pancakes. Top off your meal with our new gingerbread shake, a seamless blend of creamy vanilla and sweet gingerbread flavors. Nothing beats the comforting taste of down-home cooking. Enjoy every bite, only at Big Boy.
Give your pet the best. Premier Pet Supplies, hands down, Michigan's best pet store. Same prices and all the conveniences of the online and big box retailers with one major difference. Family and locally owned and operated for 30 plus years. Over 60 brands of food with nutrition experts to help you. Same day local curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply, give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com.
Thank you, Spenner. That's what it was.
What up? Welcome back to World Heavyweights Live on WoodSports.com. I'm Eazy. Spin more racks. Young Chris, Kenny G on the 1s and 2s. I want to bring this on to another question that was proposed throughout the season. Not even a question, just more of a statement from the same people that put other people in MVP categories. A lot of you same people wanted to fire a certain defensive coordinator, Aaron Glenn. And the same MVP candidate you had this to say.
I did. I'll finish with this too. I didn't get to say it, but I want to give a lot of credit to Aaron Glenn tonight. And I know you guys didn't ask me about our defense, but our defense played their tails off, and he deserves a ton of credit for what he's done these last handful of weeks.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
It's facts. You see what's going on. You see Aiden Hutchinson have 8 sacks in 4 weeks. You see these guys stepping up. Ife Melifonwu comes in here. Looks like he's been playing at a Pro Bowl level all year. He's been flying around making plays. I already talked about giving Brian Branch my game ball because he's been doing so well. Derek Barnes, game-sealing interception. Cam Sutton did pretty well. He's still playing injured, but he's going out there. He's putting in the effort. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, big-time interception on Baker Mayfield. The defense has been buzzing. The defense has been I don't think they've let up 30 points in the past 4 weeks. They've been shutting teams down. If you hold a team to 20 points or less, under 30, with this offense, you should win that game.
Yeah.
You should win that game. If you can hold a team to 20 to 25 points with the offense you have, with the level of players, the ability you have to put up points, you should win that game. So shout out to Aaron Glenn. I talked about it a couple years ago, or last year, I'm sorry, that he's trying to make a salad with spoiled vegetables based on some of the players he had out there and some of the talent he had. Now those vegetables are getting more ripe. We see Aiden Hutchinson becoming that franchise guy. That guy that's not going to let a double team, not going to let a chip block stop him, and he's going to get after the quarterback. We see them bring in a Brian Branch again, who is stepping up, making plays, looking like one of the best slot corners in the NFL. Safety room, impeccable. Linebacking core, much upgraded through the past couple years. Aaron Glenn is coaching these guys up. Just like how Jared Goff is playing his best ball these past couple weeks, Aaron Glenn is coaching his best ball these past couple weeks, and that is a great recipe for success in the playoffs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I just want to add to that real quick. And I know the big buzzword, adjustments, he don't like that word, but to me, the biggest adjustment he's made to this point is just accepting the fact that, okay, we don't have the personnel to go out and stop everybody's star receiver, but what we're going to do is we're going to be opportunistic on defense. We're going to create chances. We're going to take chances. We're going to blitz. We're going to try to go out there and create turnovers to flip the game on its head, and it's starting to work. You see that. We've seen more safety blitzes over the last few weeks. We've seen more linebacker blitzes. We've seen them get pressure on the quarterback and get turnovers. This past game, they did real good with the turnovers. So shout out to AG for just realizing, hey, we are what we are, but I'm going to try and make do with what we have. And he's absolutely done that to this point.
Amen. That's I think that's been missed on AG throughout the entirety of the season. And it's crazy too because you could throw shade or dismiss him getting his head coaching interviews as a Rooney Rule thing. But regardless of that, even if you're interviewing someone just purely based because you have to, you're still picking qualified candidates. Mm-hmm. Right? Don't just say he's just getting interviews because of Rooney Rule. Well, no, you still pick the guy that's probably going to best suit you as the head coach. On top of the fact that NFLPA interviewed, 1,700 football players? Mm-hmm. And they all choose Aaron Glenn as the number one guy to become head coach, or guy they'd like to be coached by. It's everything he said. And everything he said 2 years ago, too. You got spoiled vegetables. Those spoiled vegetables then became ripe vegetables because they're the rookie, sophomore year guys. But as KG said, he's cooking up with what he's got. Mm-hmm. And as you've seen these guys get healthy, as you mentioned earlier in the show, the Fonte Melifonwu, the CJGJs. Also, don't forget Fonte Melifonwu was converted to a safety position, originally drafted as a cornerback. You're starting to see this cooked up a little bit. You bitched about not being able to get a pressure on the quarterback.
Yep.
One thing I peeped yesterday that is brilliant by AG, those blitzes, you notice, they're coming on Aiden's side.
Yeah.
Where obviously there's extra attention drawn to Aiden and blocking Aiden. So if there's a blitzer screaming by you, oh fuck! You know what I'm saying?
Coming too fast.
Yeah, we were supposed to block this guy. No, in fact, pause. But yeah, fuck, we were supposed to block Aiden. Here comes Brian Branch. Here comes Fonte Melifonwu. And guess what? They cashed in on those blitzes too. And also on top of that, being a number one run defense in the league. I feel like for some reason that wasn't respected enough up until after the Rams game, when people thought Kyron Williams was going to run all over the Detroit Lions. Bro, the DVOA, the number one run defense in the league, but just by factual, the second run defense in the league, just by the numbers, but consistently bringing that, even in the absence of Aleem McNeil.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And when you may look at the passing yards, well, yeah, because teams can't fucking run on us.
Yeah.
So they try to pass on us.
They was doing it with guys like Benito Jones, and I forgot the other guy that was here, Bohanna. Yeah. And then the recipe.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, he got the Baker. Actually, he got the sack that was like a sack, but didn't. He got the ball out. And people were mad that we didn't review it. But they still would have had the ball in the red zone if we reviewed that in the sack. It was just 5 yards back. You still make that field goal from 5 yards back. I wasn't bitching about that one too much. Plus, keep your timeouts. But I think the other thing too, again, speaking of him cooking up with what he's got, he's just, I don't know, man. I've always believed in AG. I don't know if he's a top tier guy. I don't think we've been able to see him to be a top tier guy. I think he's been surrounded with you look at the top defenses in the league. They got top tier guys all around to help make it happen. The more people that AG's got, the more he's cooked it up. And he's not been afraid to experiment with it either. and I guess like diversify the defense. You're talking about the 4 safety lineup you saw out there last year too, or yesterday I should say. I apologize. And they're still able to stop the run then. And by the way, for them to prioritize stopping the run instead of the passing yards, honest, don't forget this offense was originally supposed to roll out Emmanuel Mosley out there too.
Yeah, he was supposed to be the number 1 cornerback. That was
along with
CJ,
CJ, along with Kirby. So like the idea in my mind was the fact that you eliminate the run, much like the 2014 Detroit Lions did, and then teams are forced to pass the ball at that point. When you're passing the ball back there, what was supposed to be a healthy secondary would have been turnovers. Mm-hmm. The same we saw in 2014 with GQ and Darius Slay in them. That I believe that's what the recipe was. By the way, the recipe also you're seeing like come to fruition the past couple of weeks. I don't think we really forced one out of Matthew Stafford. Obviously, he was fucking balling that game. Yeah. But you got 2 out of Baker, who was red hot coming in. And then you got the interceptions. I guess you could look at that as the Vikings, whatever it is. But it's Dak Prescott, red hot offense in their own home too. 2 turnovers in that game as well. But that's what this was supposed to be. And I'm glad that they finally got it down in the perfect time, which is the playoffs.
Yeah. Every time there's been a problem, AG has fixed it. They're not, getting home enough. He start moving Hutch around. He start blitzing more. We're getting home. He's been doing everything that he needs to do, man. And I don't know if he gets a head coaching job, but I definitely would like to see him another year with, they're going to target defense in the draft and in free agency with a lot more talent. I would like to see him get one more year at the helm.
I talked about it. You look at what we need in those first 4 picks. They got 4 picks in the first 3 rounds. I want a cornerback, a defensive tackle, an edge rusher, and an offensive lineman. Mm-hmm. And I think they're going to go out there and they're going to do that. They're definitely going to get another cornerback. You need a number 1 cornerback to put out there. I love Cam, and he has been playing injured these past couple weeks. He's got the turf toe he's dealing with. He's got other injuries that he's dealing with. He's going out there. He's being a warrior, but he's very good too. On a great defense. He's very good too. He's not a number 1. So you go out there, you get a number 1, whether it's why can't I remember his name from Kansas City, who's a free agent this year?
Chris Jones?
No, the cornerback.
Jerry Sneed?
L'Jarius Sneed.
Is he free agent?
He's a free agent this year. He's going to get a bag. That could be a guy you could throw a bag at if you're looking at that.
Wow,
or if you're looking to grab somebody in the draft. Personally, I would draft a cornerback and throw a bag at Matabuki because you can bring that defensive tackle with 13 sacks in here. But we're not worried about that right now. We're worried about who's on this team and what's going on now. So Cam Sutton, he's been banged up. He hasn't been playing his best, but the safeties are making up for it. The linebackers are making up for it. The guy on the other side, Kendall Vilder, he's been playing well, man.
He's trying his best.
He's been playing well. He's trying his best.
No offense to him.
He gets got. It's like you look at the guys that are getting got, and they're getting got by a Puka Nacua, a CeeDee Lamb, a Mike Evans. Like, these are some of the best receivers in the NFL, so it's going to happen to anybody.
It's true.
But you go out there, you give your best, you make solid tackles, I'm not going to complain. As long as you get the dub.
Amen. I agree to that one. When we get back, got some more Detroit Lions news and some NFL news, too. There's a couple of injuries flying through while we've been on the show here. But first, tell us about Guardian Alarm, Spinner.
Guardian Alarm offers you customized solutions from real experts. Their professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. They also got 24/7 professional monitoring. You can call them anytime and know a Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. And of course, they have technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people who have been proven to care. So call them at 1-800-STAY-OUT. That's 1-800-STAY-OUT. And let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Dispo Dispensary is giving away 2 tickets, 2 flights, and 2 hotel stays to the big game. You guys know what that means. The big one. You guys, the Detroit Lions might be there. They're currently a Final Four to go to that big game, if you know what I mean. Make sure you guys give them a follow on IG, Instagram, and enter yourself for opportunity to win 2 tickets, a hotel stay, and flight to the big game. That's Dispo Dispensary, your local cannabis plug. What up, though? Welcome back to World Heavyweights Live, WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Eazy. That's my guy, Spin More Racks.
What up, though?
Young Chris, Kenny G, KG. What do you prefer?
I go by KG, but
KG?
know, yeah.
I bet. Yeah, it works. JB, KG.
Yeah.
I could usually I mess up when somebody else in the booth because I write out the name so like fast, and I get to like whoever's like substituting the day. I'm like, ugh. I always end up saying JB anyway. But this next topic is inspired by you. You asked, what side of the ball do you think is going to be most important in this matchup against the 49ers, if I'm not mistaken? I guess I was wondering like your take on it because you're the one to bring it up.
Yeah, I mean, we are going to be missing 2 of our key offensive linemen, but just going forward, what side of the ball do you think is like most important to the Lions' success and possibly getting this game, the NFC Championship game? Me personally, I think it's the offense. They've been the strongest unit this whole entire year and offseason. If Jared Goff keeps playing confident, there's no limit to where this team can go. We'll see what they do as far as the offensive line, but definitely I think the offense will be more key to a Lions victory in the NFC Championship.
Spinning?
I think it's the defense, actually. I do, because I have confidence in the offense. They're going to be able to go out there and put up points. Even with a banged-up offensive line, I have confidence that they'll be able to run the ball successfully. We saw Aaron Jones toting that bitch all over the field when they played the 49ers. So I think the Lions will be able to run the ball. They'll be able to move the ball with consistency and get in the end zone. But the defense is the one that I think needs to step up. You can't allow Brock Purdy to get in a rhythm. We saw when the Packers were putting pressure on him, getting in his face, getting him off his easy throws, he started, making some bad reads. He started making some bad throws. He had a couple of passes that should have been intercepted but weren't. Mm-hmm. So you need to get in the face of Brock Purdy. You cannot allow him to get comfortable because in that Shanahan offense, if you're comfortable, you sit back there, you don't have people in your face, you just make your reads and somebody's going to be open. They'll be able to move down the field. And Christian McCaffrey, you got to contain him as much as possible. We've done it all year with running backs. We've taken care of running backs all year. Christian McCaffrey is the best running back in the NFL, so he is going to get his, but you need to limit him. You can't allow him to go off and go for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. So I think the defense is the more important side of the ball.
Yeah.
I think I agree with you, Spinny. I think it is a defense just because that is a strong suit is like the offense, right? Like you expect them to kind of produce no matter what, and especially going off of what you said, like the Aaron Jones. I guess the mold of Aaron Jones is kind of like a speedster, I'd say, more than anything else. Jahmyr Gibbs is that for us. Well, you got the bruiser and Dave Montgomery if need be, but I do think the defense, just because I look at Brock Purdy in the same way I've kind of like viewed our guy JG, and it's like it's the system. But if you can rattle that one guy, you kind of shake things up a little bit and turn the game in your favor. And I think just that the Packers, like Purdy didn't have the best game.
Yeah.
The Packers had every opportunity to win. Now he balled out the final drive and got them that game-winning touchdown. I think he does deserve credit for that, by the way.
Yeah.
Because I don't think everyone saw that in his repertoire or gave him the credit for like even having the capabilities of doing that. But he is a little bit mobile. And I think that's we just need to we need to rattle him. Because as much as like he's been given these accolades, people want to put him in the MVP conversation. I just don't think he's done it consistently enough for us to see. Like even you talk about MVP conversations, I think he'd be second behind his running back and Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it's still a big moment for him. As much as like he got to the NFC Conference Championship game last year, he didn't perform in the NFC Conference Championship game for us to like give him that stamp of like, okay, he's a big time clutch player. I think he's a piece that like you want to test him out. You want to figure out what he's about. And going based off last week, I think there might be something there. I think there's I think it can be rattled. I will say this though. I think the Packers defense is kind of discounted what they got in the defensive line. They got players. Yeah, Devondre Campbell, Rashawn Gary, Devontae Wyatt. Like they got some dogs in that defense too. Who's another linebacker everyone hates? They got
Quay Walker. Like
he's a dog as well, as much as people who don't like him.
Crybaby bitch.
I think Yair Alexander is the AB of defensive cornerbacks, but like he's still respectable.
He definitely is.
Yeah, like actually, I'm gonna pull the numbers from that game too. I guess to see what everybody else is doing because we drank a little bit. I actually fell asleep like that whole second half the third quarter and the rush of beat ups for you guys. Huh?
What? Oh, the Packers game?
Yeah.
No, it was fun. It was good to watch.
Where do you see them being weak at, KG?
The Lions?
49ers.
Oh, the 49ers?
Not a lot of weaknesses.
It's
honestly.
not. They stack from top to bottom when you think about it. But I feel like if I don't, and that's the sucky part about the offensive line. I felt like that was our biggest advantage. That offensive line going against their defensive line, even though they had all those studs. Our offensive line, their ability to create holes and pass protect for Jared Goff has been absolutely amazing, man. But I do think we have an advantage in run defense. I'm interested to see the run D versus CMC because assuming if Debo plays, I don't know if the Lions have seen a wide receiver running back tandem as good as CMC and Debo. So but I'm really interested to see if they can limit CMC, man, because he's going to be a big key in that game.
Yeah, I think that's a great point too, because like knowing that we can stop the run, CMC is obviously like the top tier. Was like he probably gets some either way.
Right.
But like if that's the situation, you truly want to test Brock Purdy, what starts with stopping CMC?
You got to put the ball in Brock
and forcing him to throw the ball. And I think that actually truly is the recipe too,
especially
knowing that
Debo's
exactly Debo being 50-50. Whether he's playing or not, if he is playing, we know he's gonna be banged up. We know we're a physical team, especially if he's running those routes across the middle. Put a Jack Campbell in his chest, make him not want to come back to the game. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. I mean, that's already a beef they're speaking on. But I mean, I'd rather take a hit from Johnson than Jack. 6'5". Jack Campbell, a human being.
Jack Campbell's a big dude, man.
But either way,
and he's fucking crazy.
Yes,
I love it.
Stop that run, and truly test what Brock Purdy is about. I think it's a defense. Because I think our offense can perform either way. Just again, looking at the Aaron Jones doing what he did. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs fits that mold on top of the fact that we have a better offensive line top of it. There's actually a picture out there. I might try to get it to Chris of Penei Sewell blocking 2 Tampa Bay Buccaneers defenders at once. Did you see that?
Yeah,
bro, wild.
The guy's a monster.
This guy is different.
Like I said, man, you guys made fun of me in the chat and other people when I said at the beginning of the year that he's the best offensive line in the year. You said, oh, you got his jersey, you're slapping. No, the guy is the best offensive lineman in the NFL. He is a first-team All-Pro. He is going to be a consensus first-team All-Pro for many, many years.
Yes.
You just keep that spot chalked. Just keep Penei Sewell right there for the next 5 to 10 years. The guy is the best offense. And I said it weeks ago, and people clown me. Oh, what about Stafford? What about this guy? Penei Sewell, when his career is said and done, will be at the very least, the 3rd best Detroit Lion of all time. At the very least.
I believe that.
And if he wins a couple Super Bowls, he could be 2 or 1.
Holy shit. The 49ers run defense actually is really good.
Yeah. Their defensive line is crazy. And they have the best.
They are just behind us.
The best linebacking core in the NFL.
We've allowed 1,509 yards in the season. The 49ers have allowed 1,525. So it's a difference of like 14 yards. And that's actually we're even better because that's against 369 carries on them. Us 408.
Nice.
But yeah, 49ers run defense actually is the truth. Because I'm looking at too, like as like the running backs. There's only looks like the Browns went over 100 against them collectively. The Bengals got pretty close at 93, and the Cardinals at 177. A lot of people kind of see the Cardinals might be. They built a little bit of roster. I think I clown Gannon a little bit, but they
like the coach over there. I don't know if they stick with Kyler Murray, but
I don't think they
facts.
should. I don't think they should. I don't like Kyler Murray. And whenever the funniest thing is his average fantasy points, like the first 4 weeks of the season before Call of Duty drops, so like it's like 5 points higher, and then after Call of Duty drops, they go down. I'm not a Kyler Murray guy, but
similar to us. And the Packers obviously went for over 100 on them last week too.
Yeah. They've had some slip-ups.
It's gonna be a good game.
Aaron Jones was toting that bitch.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a good game.
Like Aaron Jones was doing whatever he wanted.
Well, it's like I talked about it earlier. Like Detroit Lions, Jahmyr Gibbs kind of split his carries and keeping like both him and David kind of like. I guess like less wear and tear on the bodies. Well, the same thing with Aaron Jones. Like he kind of been hurt all season, so like he really get like his whole entire body abused because I think he was only really back for like how many games did he actually play in the regular season? Like 5.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot.
6. Yeah, it was not a lot of that at all. But I feel like Jahmyr kind of got that equally that pep in his step.
Yeah.
Actually, they're playing the highlights right now, talking about Lions versus the fucking A, dude. How about Craig Reynolds getting that touchdown? Was that random as fuck?
That was crazy.
It was pretty random.
I did not see that coming.
I was telling everybody this morning, I knew it was a pass. I just knew in my heart of hearts it was a pass or a screen or something, and he just ran it straight up.
Yeah, that's what we said too. We're like, oh, Craig's in. I was like, but that's when you run the ball.
Yes.
You bring Craig Reynolds in, and they're like, oh, they're obviously throwing the ball. No, you ain't. Because Craig's no bum. Like,
he's not.
We've seen him when he had to get starting roles. He's done some things, but like,
that's a huge spot in the game to be giving him that carry, and he delivered.
And that shows they got faith in him that he is like your favorite player's favorite player. Everybody on the Lions loves Craig Reynolds. They talked about last year or during Hard Knocks how the offensive linemen were going to walk out if Craig Reynolds got cut.
Yeah, I remember that the coaches were debating.
Yeah,
like,
they love that guy. And his story that they had on Hard Knocks about his brother in prison, and like, it's a hard guy not to root for. And when he's been given opportunities, he has shown up. So, Craig, shout out Craig.
Come on, Craig.
I ain't putting down my gun. I ain't Craig.
Come on, Craig.
Come on, Craig.
It's going to be a good game, man. Fuck. I was confident about it heading in, and then I was like looking at the run defense. I'm like,
but the Lions still haven't allowed a 100-yard rusher this year, besides Justin Fields, who's not a running back.
Exactly.
So that's one advantage we have. So I mean, 49ers have had some slip-ups, so we'll see.
I'm looking, man. I'm just looking at this defense too, because I'm seeing who they like. What running backs they shut down? If it's worthy of being like, yeah, we shut down like so and so. Is that Saquon part of it? Nope, he was hurt for that game.
What did they do with Kenneth Walker playing Seattle?
Kenneth Walker. That's a good question. Seahawks.
I was at that game.
You went to it?
Yeah, I went to the Atlanta and the Seahawks game this year.
Oh, the Lions ones or the
we were at the Atlanta game.
So they got Kenneth Walker ran for 21 on them and 8 carries. Charbonnet ran for 44. So those 2 elite backs.
Yeah.
I mean, not 2. I'm sorry. I shouldn't give Charbonnet that credit.
Yeah.
But I think Kenneth Walker's elite. Bro, how about this, actually? Well, maybe they didn't need to because Lamar was doing his thing, but actually they held the Ravens rushing attack, which is kind of like pretty fucking good in my opinion.
They dominated Bijan.
Yeah.
Made Bijan look like trash.
No, what about
No, I'm talking about the 49ers.
Niners?
Yeah.
Oh.
49ers held the Ravens to 57 yards rushing.
What about Kyron Williams?
Kyron Williams, they held to 52. That was like the second game of the season. But McVay abandons the run. Like that's some of all the Rams fans were bitching about when they hop in our chat. But when I look at the running backs that did damage on them, actually, what do you make of Jerome Ford? Like, what type of is he?
I think it's that Cleveland
he's like a scat back with power.
Yeah, and like that Cleveland offensive line is pretty damn good too.
Yeah,
so like
Detroit
Dearness Johnson looked pretty good when he was in there too.
Yeah.
So
Kareem Hunt, they always get scrap running backs and they do well.
Looking at the rushing attacks they faced, not really anybody elite, to be honest with you.
That's true.
They'll be able to run the ball. Like I said, man, with watching that game and seeing
actually
how
might be
Aaron
a little-
Jones was able to run the ball, the Lions are going to be able to run the ball against the 49ers, even with Jonah being out. They'll be able to run the ball.
What I was getting ready to say too, I think like their run defense kind of a little like inflated because they haven't really like when they faced the Giants, Saquon didn't play. They faced Kyron Williams the first time. The second time around, remember the Rams benched all their players.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't really face here's the teams they faced. And tell me like which ones. Like, stop me when you hear like an elite running back core. The Steelers.
No.
Rams. Well, that was okay. We'll give them that.
He's the second best running back in the league.
Giants. That's without Saquon. So I'm not gonna use that one. Cardinals.
No.
Cowboys.
No.
Browns.
That was without Nick Chubb.
Without Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
No. Yep.
But they got 131 on them. Vikings. Bengals.
Nope.
Jaguars.
No.
Buccaneers.
Nope.
Seahawks.
Yeah.
Yeah, they held the Seahawks. 57 yards. They actually, first time out against the Seahawks, in that 57 yards I told you about, no Kenneth Walker.
No Kenneth Walker.
No Kenneth Walker in that one. Eagles, they're like mid-tier.
Not an elite backs, but an elite running game.
Yeah. Swift had a good year though.
Yeah.
What they do against him?
20 yards. 20 yards.
God, the 49ers, break news. The 49ers are a good fucking team.
Right.
Like this is going to be.
Well, okay,
they're in
hold
the
on,
NFC Championship game.
There's
for a
only
reason.
There's only 9 carries.
Still,
so they must have banded it pretty
Jahmyr
early.
Gibbs only had 9 carries against the Bucs.
I'm talking about 9 carries across all the running backs. Though.
Yeah. Well,
the Seahawks the second time. Kenneth Walker played in this one. They had 65 yards. Cardinals again. Ravens I'd say is elite. They held that one down pretty good, 57 yards. And then Commanders, Rams, backup players, and Packers. But I think the Packers are an example of that, like kind of inflated.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Tell us about Mark White.
Let's go. Hyping the boys up. Mark White, whether you're buying or selling real estate, Mark White will provide you the best experience. Make sure you visit markwhitesales.com or give him a call at 248-290-8242. He can save you up to $5,000 on your closing costs. It's $5,000 on your closing costs. It's markwhitesales.com.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. That is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today. Find the brand you want at lesstanford.com.
What up? Welcome back to World Heavyweights live on sports.com. Smash that like button, be a friend, tell a friend, share the stream. It's very much appreciated. Detroit Lions going to the NFC Championship. Fucking crazy, man.
It is pretty crazy.
We're all Detroit Lions fans. Wherever you stand on certain players, don't give a fuck. Our team is winning.
Yeah.
Our team is winning.
Walking back. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's just crazy to me. Yeah. We can have that discussion if you like to. We are at the top. You know, if people want to call in, I'm here for the smoke. But Chris, you had one about the 49ers you wanted to ask.
Yeah, and it actually shout out to Burn in the chat because it directly correlates with this because I've seen this going around. So he said the Packers cut them. They're man. They're not machine. And that's where I'm at with this. Like, how much of that game was rust versus actual vulnerability when it comes to the Niners? Because when you look at it, and you've seen this across all sports, like you see it in basketball. Like for my analogy is I use the Lakers. Like, is this the 2001 Lakers that steamrolled and then game one in the playoffs they lost to Allen Iverson and then boom they recovered, or is this the 04 Lakers and this is the end? They've had a long run and they're actually showing signs of weakness. Like, that's kind of how I look at this 49ers team. I don't know the answer to that. We'll find that out Sunday. But I tend to think that factoring in that they benched their starters the last week of the season, plus the bye, and then if I'm not mistaken, didn't they have a blowout game the week before in week 17? So this is like a team that was almost a month away, a month removed from competitive football. So I think that was rust. That's where I'm at with this team. I still think this team is extremely fearful. I don't necessarily buy that they're as vulnerable as people think. What do you guys say?
I mean, they're still a great team. Like, don't get that wrong. There definitely was some rust there. You know, they, like you said, they haven't played in a week. They haven't played, and the Packers were hot. They were playing great ball. They were doing a lot of good things. So that plays a factor into it as well. But, like, don't get it wrong. This Niners team is a well-oiled machine. Like, they're probably the deepest team, you know, from 1 to 32 in the NFL. So it's impressive to watch them go out there, and you're going to have to be on your P's and Q's if you want to beat them. But that being said, they're not invincible. We've seen this team lose 3 games in a row. We've seen this team go out there and put up a dud, get blown out by the Ravens. Like, I mean, you know, we did too, but still, we've seen them lose before. It's not like they're the undefeated Tom Brady Patriots, the undefeated, you know, Dan Marino Dolphins. Like, this is a team that has lost before. This is a team that showed weakness before. So they're not this all-knowing being, this indomitable monster that you'll never be able to come close to beating, but they are a very, very good team. And they definitely showed some rust against the Packers, who were hot and rolling and got in there. That's what happens in the playoffs. That's why some coaches don't like the bye, is because you face a hot-ass team that snuck into the playoffs, wins a game, and you're coming off a bye week. So we'll see. But you still got to be ready for this 49ers team because they're going to bring it.
KG?
Yeah, and this is why, like, I was cool with Dan Campbell, you know, playing our starters regardless of what happened to Laporta, which thankfully turned out to be not as serious. But you can't replicate that, man. When you get in the playoffs and you got a team that's hot and momentum is going week to week, it's definitely an advantage, man. And yeah, it definitely looked like rust. Now they eventually got it together. You know, by the half, they went in, made adjustments. They got adjusted to the game flow, and they came out and did what they had to do. But yeah, they were definitely rusty coming in. But like he said, they're a well-oiled machine, and it's not going to take them long to get back on that horse pause. So, you know, definitely they're a team that you don't want to take lightly going forward, but they are mortal. We've seen them take some shots. I definitely believe the Lions have a chance to do something against this 49ers team.
I think looking back, just like the moments they have lost too. Because don't forget, as Detroit Lions, we never had like lost back-to-back games. But I'm even thinking about the losses that the 49ers have taken. As we mentioned earlier, like the weakness, like Brock Purdy had looked bad in. I'm going back to that Vikings game, throwing multiple interceptions. Going back to he got benched.
Yeah, I was about to say he got benched.
He got benched against that Ravens team. Throwing interceptions, I think it were picks. And by the way, don't forget, the 49ers got that extra like little safety off that referee.
Yeah.
And they still whooped that ass. Like that was like a blessing because they got the 2 points and the ball back. And the Ravens still whooped that ass.
Yeah.
I mean, that might be a Ravens thing, though, because remember, people were calling for Hendon Hooker after that Ravens game against Detroit. Like
Hendon Hooker was still hurt. Yeah. But no, man.
But they were still ready for it.
But in the games that they've lost, Brock Purdy has looked like
mortal.
Yes. Yeah. And I've always seen him as that, by the way, too. The same way, like, I've never been on the Brock Purdy train of calling him top 5 or calling him MVP or anything like that. I look at the Kyle Shanahan, a brilliant gameplay caller, the same way we got Ben Johnson. Yeah. I think they're very, very similar. I think, in fact, at times I've called us the Midwest 49ers. I see the same thing in golf. I think, obviously, different players. I think golf, you got a little bit more accuracy. With Purdy, you got a little bit more of a deep ball mobility there. But either way, you could plant a guy in there, utilize his strengths along with like what you got going on with your system, and cash in W's.
Yeah,
that's what I see both these teams as being. But either way, Brock Purdy being the less experienced guy in that situation.
Yeah.
And on top of that, just also showing like flaws in being the less experienced guy and the loss they have taken.
You put the ball in his hands. You put the ball in his hands. You make Brock Purdy beat you. That's how you beat the 49ers.
And one of the excuses was Debo being hurt when they lost, obviously, the left tackle too.
Yeah, Trent Williams.
But like Debo was another one of the excuses. The guy's going to be 50-50 this matchup.
Yeah.
It's not out of the realm of possibilities, man. Detroit Lions in warm weather with JG.
Home game.
That's what I'm saying,
his family going to be there. He said it, man. Yeah. So you know he about to put on, man.
When I was bitching about like wanting to acquire like a super team, it was like when I think we had to go to Philly, and I think I just got done watching the Bills go over there, and it was rainy, it was sloppy. I was like, bro, I don't know if the Lions could like do that. Based off like what I see them do this year, obviously against the Bears, I don't think they played at that point too. But then obviously in Ravens, it wasn't even that cold that day. It was kind of like a little bit windy and a little bit nippy. Yeah. But I didn't want to have to be in that situation under those conditions. We got blessed with the Cowboys losing 2 home games, and this is exactly what the path was supposed to be: home game, in warm weather.
Yeah,
and we're literally on it right now. It's insane to say. Detroit Lions might be going to Super Bowl, man. I did see someone say, you guys see the Super Bowl logo? How it's kind of like purple and red?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any...
No.
I will say, if KC does it, blue and red makes sense.
Hey, man, let's finish the year how we started. Lions versus Chiefs.
I'm not mad at that.
That's how the season opened.
I'm not mad at that at all.
That's how the season should close.
Now, hold on. I got a quick question for y'all. Now, assuming the Lions win this game, if Kyle Shanahan loses this one, do you start to question him? Is he in that realm of head coaches that are good but playoff chokers?
I don't think so. Just because, like,
I think he needs to cash one in pretty soon.
Yeah.
I think you definitely need to, like, he'll be in that Andy Reid situation. Like before Andy Reid finally cashed one in KC.
Got his success,
he thought that was the thing about him. Offensive genius, has these great teams always, but can never cash one in. And that, unfortunately, is a knock on a lot of coaches for a long time. If you don't win the big one, then you're just average.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Kyle Shanahan, the honeymoon effect might be wearing off with them if he doesn't cash one in.
Look what's happening to Sean McDermott in Buffalo.
Oh, Sean McDermott, he's...
See, but the difference though,
he might be camped.
Shanahan, like, been to Super Bowl.
That's true.
With a Jimmy G at that. Like, that's one thing I got to always fall on with Shanahan is the fact that the quarterback, and that's why I've had my stance on.
I tried to explain that to Lindsey. He don't get it though. Like, you know why Brock Purdy is not necessarily an MVP.
Yeah,
you know, because they've done it with other quarterbacks. We've seen it.
It's no matter who you put in there, it's a system.
Yeah.
Like, and tremendous pieces around it. And then like they have the brilliant GM where it's like, okay, well, if this guy's strong suits is like offensive side of the ball, well, then we're just going to get like stars on the defensive side. And that's what they've done. Because he can make almost anything work on the offensive side. We've seen it. Before CMC was even there in the Super Bowl. He wasn't, was he? No, CMC wasn't even on that roster.
No, he wasn't.
And then, I think NFC Conference Championships for like, what, 6 straight years or something like that? Like, it's been, I think the 3rd years consecutively this year, too, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I got to look at that stuff. But, no, I think he's just, like, that's the one thing. Like, you mentioned Andy Reid. That's a perfect example. Andy Reid, the offensive genius who can, like, construct his way there or coach his way there, but never get it. But what's the difference when Andy Reid did get it? Patrick Mahomes.
It's true.
Right? Yeah. And Kyle Shanahan's never had that. He hasn't gotten that quarterback yet. Some people believe Brock Purdy's that. I just obviously...
They tried to put him in that same tier? They tried to put him in that MVP?
Yeah, exactly. Like, he's just not.
But yeah.
He's not.
No, I agree.
Tell us about merch, Chris.
All right. The Woodward Sports merch is the best place to get merch. Are you tired of the same old Detroit sports merch? Well, woodwardsports.com. Clicking the shop tab, you can take care of that. It's a new era in sports wearables, new design, amazing appeal, the ultimate swag. Hoodies, tees, hats, all guaranteed to turn heads. Get them today. The latest designs at woodwardsports.com. Clicking the shop tab.
Come hang with the Woodward Sports crew all throughout football season on Saturdays and Sundays. Join our college football and Detroit Lions live watch parties.
Inside the 5, caught, end zone, touchdown, Detroit Lions!
With money on the line, featuring different special guests and surprises. Start times will vary depending on the game. Only on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Planet Fitness, you can get energy without the judgment.
Hi, can you help me with this?
You don't know how to use it?
This is better.
Join now through January 19th for just 24 cents down, $10 a month. Never intimidating, always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. Join today during the Big Fitness Energy Sale for 24 cents down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal extended through January 19th.
Over 50 Metro Detroit locations.
Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. They will help you reach your fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full-body workout in 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all this for just $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by, 50 more in Metro Detroit, and thousands more throughout the world. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Sports, live on Woodward Heavyweights, live on Woodward Sports. Got mailbag segment coming up. Hit that like button, 5-star review. First question was Steve O'Baby. Who would you guys rather see in the Super Bowl at this point? Would it be the Ravens or the Kansas City Chiefs?
Chiefs for
Chiefs
sure.
for me too.
Absolutely Chiefs.
Yeah.
Ravens scared the dog shit out of me.
Ravens are a very scary team.
Well, it's just crazy too. Cause, I mean, you saw like D'Amico Ryans, by the way, former defensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers. Like obviously, established himself as a good defensive coordinator. You saw it against the Browns too, like the 2 pick sixes. Lamar is just a game breaker, bro. Like you can prep all you want, but you just can't. When you extend plays like
the way
that,
he
or
moves
just run
around in the pocket.
Yes, bro. It's off script. It's tough to deal with.
He can buy so much time for his receivers to get open. And they've got the best defense in the league.
Yeah.
And it's the best receiving core he's ever had.
Todd Monken too. Like you see a lot of like the pre-snap motions that you see in our offense that we're running with a guy that's not Lamar. Like in terms of like mobility and like off script stuff. Like it's just. Yeah, it's fucking scary, bro.
I think that's what it is. The OC has unlocked the passing game of I don't know why Greg Roman couldn't do that, but it definitely seems like they've unlocked the other part of his game now, and you see the results, man.
They actually like had faith in him. And it's crazy too. Like I remember I saw someone on Twitter was like, all you gotta do is force Lamar to throw. Bro's like 5th in QBR.
Lions forced
I don't know.
him to
I understand
throw.
why people like try to pretend like Lamar Jackson can't throw the football.
Right.
He does.
But like Spence said, they finally got a receiving core that's worth a damn now.
His best receiver up until now was Hollywood Brown.
Somebody else asked, I think it was Lunchbox Hooligans, do you guys believe in the the Super Bowl color conspiracy?
No.
Nah.
What if it ended up being the Ravens and Niners?
That was my prediction. Yeah, it was two best teams.
You believe in it?
Nah, man.
Tris?
No. And another reason why you want the Kansas City Chiefs is because, you know, it sounds crazy wanting the matchup with arguably the greatest quarterback or somebody who's on the path to be the greatest quarterback. But you've seen those receivers drop passes. You've seen Kelsey not look as good. You've seen them put together shaky quarters. And now, granted, to their credit, they found a way to win. But overall, they're a team that's definitely shown way more flaws than they have before, especially with especially compared to the Ravens. So I'm not buying the Super Bowl color things either. By the way,
yeah, that is not the same Chiefs team. Absolutely not.
No,
that's fair. Mailbag, do you believe our coaching staff can outcoach the 49ers?
Yes. Yes, I do. They outcoached the LA Rams. Sean McVay, fantastic coach. Kyle Shanahan is a fantastic coach, but I do believe they can do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be close. I mean,
I think we kind of outman the Rams. Like, we just had the better team. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's two good coaches. I'm not like discounting that. I just don't know if it was like a master class of coaching versus like the other guy. I think it was just like,
yeah, but I think this team has shown that they're going to coach good enough. Like it's not going to be what it was at the beginning of the Dan Campbell regime and even earlier last year, right? Where it's like, oh, you can say that, or you can make the argument that the coaching staff costed them the game. That's not going to happen anymore with this Lions team. They're going to be put in good positions constantly because of their coaching. So it may not be an advantage, but it's definitely not going to be a disadvantage going against even those other great coaching staffs.
I could see it, and I thought about this on the way in too. So it's not like a complete thought, but Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers have been there for a long time, like doing what they do for the longest. Dan Campbell's first game coaching was against the Kyle Shanahan 49ers. But what Shanahan didn't see in Dan Campbell was the Ben Johnson offense. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that too, the same way like we expect our offense to somewhat be like relevant to what it was this year if Tanner Strand steps in. Well, they've gone through that process twice over now with the San Francisco 49ers defensive coordinators. With first leaving was Rob Salah over the Jets. Then D'Amico Ryan's leaving with the Texans. Yep. So now they grabbed somebody like not in-house, somebody like I think like my man from the Panthers interim head coach from last year, Steve Wilkes.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been. It's still really, really, really good defense. It's obviously still like a system in place, and obviously you have a star-studded cast with like Fred Warner and Joey Bosa. But I think that's a little bit watered down, and it's also been around longer. Kyle Shanahan versus like him not. I think it can. I think it's a possibility it can. KG, you think they outcoach Kyle Shanahan?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so, man. And Dan has gotten real good at taking calculated gambles. His fourth down conversions have been a lot smarter. He's made better decisions. I absolutely think he can outcoach. He's outcoached a lot of good coaches this year. So I definitely got confidence in his coaching staff.
Somebody has top 5 quarterbacks, but I have to sit on that one. Pause. Lamar. Is Lamar in your guys' top 5? I don't know.
Yeah, of course.
We won't do it like any order. Lamar,
Mahomes,
Allen. That's 3.
Stroud.
Already?
Yes.
No.
I don't know about top 5. I think he'll be there.
I'm trying to think of somebody to put over.
I'm still putting Hurts in there. I think it was just a tough year.
I don't know. Hurts on my top 5.
Hurts isn't in my top 5.
Y'all still rocking with Herbert, man? I know y'all big Herbert guys.
Yeah. I see Herbert will still be top 5 when he comes back. I'm very curious who they're about to hire. Is there any rumors on what they're going to land on?
They had a second interview with Jim Harbaugh.
Man, Mahomes, Lamar, Allen, Burrow. Does Burrow count, or we got to do guys that help this year?
I personally think he's up there.
Yeah.
Burrow's top 5. Then probably.
They're showing Jordan Love any love?
Not yet.
Not
but
top 5.
He's had a good year.
No, that's fair. Listen.
Yeah.
He's probably that next tier, maybe.
He's kind of, yeah. I mean, I'd like to see him do it again.
Yeah, 5 for me probably be Herbert. 5 for me be Herbert. Who would you have? It sounded like you didn't want Herbert in your 5. Who would be your 5th? It don't gotta be in your order. Just like who your name.
I don't know. I guess you got to keep him up there for now, just by default. But I don't know. C.J. Stroud could be moving in that spot. So, like you said, he's had a
Stroud
good
is
year.
Dog, man.
But like you said, I want to see another year of that. But he does look like he's got it.
He's got he passes the eye test.
Yeah, absolutely.
He passes the eye test.
His accuracy's fucking.
It's like Joe Burrow. Like how comfortable and confident he is in the pocket reminds me of Joe Burrow.
His touch, like it's just like even when he's running backwards, like because obviously I see a lot of that from Jordan Love, but he like rifles it. Or like Stroud in those situations, he just beautifully just places it in our hands. It's like it's crazy.
Even when he's on the run, throwing off his back foot, he just drops it right in the basket.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. There's really like a lot of plays where I'm like, oh, he's throwing it out of bounds, and then next thing you know, it's like perfectly placed in the arms. Dalton Schultz like fucked them like 2 weeks in a row, dropping like.
Hey, relax.
Stop. I don't care about your fantasy fetishes.
I like Dalton Schultz, but he dropped to crucial ones. Yeah.
But that'll do it for us today. Appreciate you all tapping into the Woodward Heavyweights live on this Victory Monday. Make sure you smash that like button. For Eazy, for KG, for Chris, I am Spenny. We are the Woodward Heavyweights. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.